Hello everyone, and welcome back. It's me, your friendly neighborhood college counselor, and we're very excited today to cover some frequently asked questions for admissions officers. Students around the world have often wondered a variety of things, trying to get into the mind of the decision makers who are sort of on the other side of the admissions table. Today we're going to get into the most asked questions and hear from what admissions officers actually have to say. Let's start with number one.
So I was wondering, we spend so much time on our applications. How long does an admission officer spend time on a given application?
Every admissions officer spends on average between 7 and 10 minutes on every single application. That gives us a very small window of time to hook our audience, convey our best qualities, and build our case for why we'd be such a tremendous value add on any college campus. This is why we always focus on crafting meticulous, thorough, and thoughtful applications that require no more than one read to make it a strong and unwavering yes. Let's hear the next question.
So I understand admission officers are also humans, not robots. So does them having bad days influence their decision making?
That's a great question. We have understood from all our past videos that this is an incredibly human process, subject to a great deal of bias and prejudice and emotion and so much subjectivity, right? Luckily, every application does go through several rounds of review from diverse admissions officers. That means that every student gets the benefit of the doubt and does get an objective, neutral read to arrive at a fair decision. Next question.
So we talk so much about Ivy Leagues, right? So does all students who get into Ivy Leagues have one common trait that make them Ivy League worthy?
So naturally, all highly selective universities are looking for a wide variety of traits among their applicants, but one common trait that shines through across the board is an unwavering intellectual curiosity. They are looking for students who are going to want to challenge their mind and their brain, and who are going to push others around them to ask deep questions and to think at a very sophisticated level about the world around them. Let's hear the next question.
What is the best essay topic you have ever seen?
So this is a tricky question, but ultimately there is no one perfect essay. There's no formula, there is no algorithm. There are just many, many, many good essay topics. And the right essay topic for you is the one that tells your personal story and that is just as unique as you are, right? Any essay is never the sole reason why a student got admitted or rejected. So don't worry too much about the topic. No topic is too silly or trite. Just focus on really bringing out your personal qualities. What's next?
My father went to Harvard. Does that help me getting into Harvard?
Legacy plays an important role in the US admissions process. This demonstrates your interest actually transcends generations and is in your blood. Universities are always looking to protect their yield. That is to say, they want to admit students who will actually matriculate or come. Your legacy indicates a higher likelihood of you actually attending if you got admitted. Therefore, your legacy does increase your likelihood of admission. Next question.
How much does my high school GPA matter?
So your GPA in isolation is not nearly as important as the context. So what courses were you taking? What school curriculum were you in? Which school did you go to? Universities want to see that you challenged yourself in the circumstances that you were in and that you were able to do very, very well. So that number in isolation is not as important as the rigor of your coursework and your ability to thrive and go above and beyond and rank at the top level of the students in your school. What's next?
What's the number one reason that might get a student rejected from a top college?
So it's hard to pinpoint any specific reason why a student was admitted or rejected, but one thing that is a sure shot to the rejection pile is being sloppy in your application. That could include sort of typos, grammatical errors, Writing the wrong college's name in your essay is a really big red flag, which is sure to get you cast off. So whenever you're submitting your application, make sure you do a very thorough read through and make sure you're very happy with what you're presenting to the admissions office.
Can an admission officer tell when a student is lying on the application?
Many students have a tendency or a desire to inflate their accomplishments and achievements to help get them into competitive universities. Unfortunately, this is going to work against you. Admissions officers have a very keen eye for when students have, say, gotten a lot of additional help from adults or teachers on their applications. So you want to make sure that even though different people are editing or giving suggestions on your different parts of your application, that by the end of the day, it is your voice which is coming through and no one else's. Most importantly, you want to make sure that there is no discrepancy between your application and the letters of recommendation that are going from your teachers and counselors. If your application shows a highly, very beautiful literary prose with a lot of accomplishments, and that is not corroborated by your teachers and counselors, then naturally they're able to see that you weren't being entirely truthful.
How important are test scores?
So that's an interesting question. Now the trend more and more are that some colleges are dropping this requirement, and yet other colleges are still requiring that standardized test scores be submitted. You want to achieve the highest score you possibly can, but you need to understand that this is part of a larger picture. That is to say that perfect test scores cannot make up for weaker extracurriculars and essays. At the same time, if you don't have the best SAT or ACT score, having a really powerful extracurricular profile, essays, recommendations, and school grades can certainly take you over the edge.
Is there an advantage of applying early to colleges?
Absolutely. Coming back to demonstrated interest and colleges protecting their yield, students who apply early demonstrate even more enthusiasm to attend, especially if you apply early decision. This makes a significant difference in your application, in your acceptance rate. Some highly selective universities have almost a 5 times higher acceptance rate for students who apply early decision. So if you are really sure and committed to a specific university, you're going to want to go ahead and apply early.
Thank you so much, our friendly neighborhood college counselor. What would we do without you?
As always, it's a pleasure. If any of you have any additional questions, do be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, signing off as your friendly neighborhood college counselor, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye!